Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hamid Reza Ustadabbas and working as a GIS software developer in the HD company. I'm so excited to present our recent paper, which is a joint effort with my teammate, Dr. Helmut Merz and Dr. Heike Weipart from Germany. My interactive poster presentation topic is integration of the urban spatial data management and visualization with the enterprise application using open source software. You can see an overview of my talk here. I start with the short introduction, then cover area of interest and how our solution was formed to address them. Finally, as I conclude, I list our potential future research steps. There is an important law in Germany called Urban Development Promotion Law, and this law enables municipalities to be financially supported by government for promoting urban development. In this year, 2021, the law has its 50th anniversary. Since this law came into force in 1971, more than 1,000 renovation areas were designated with the aim to maintain and modernize the urban structure and, of course, to improve the living condition for the inhabitants. Previously, in the management of the urban redevelopment area, the non-spatial data and spatial data considered separately as two different type of data. In this application, we are trying to fill this gap between non-spatial accounting system and urban spatial database managing system. Here you can see a general overview of FMS application, accounting application, and urban spatial database. FMS application is used for urban project management and it provides services for the lawfully funded projects which contains all expenses and earning and preparing funding requests. In other hand, urban spatial database monitoring the changes of the urban structure, quarters, parcels, building, and so on. Objective of using the enterprise application integration, firstly, provides spatial visualization on the fly in FMS. Secondly, updating the information in both systems in the same time. Thirdly, automatic data generation and updating in both directions in FMS accounting application and urban spatial database. Here you can see the steps of the workflow. Firstly, initial setup of the import representation. Secondly, load the generic representation from the database schema. And thirdly, access the generic representation from the QGIS and web interface FMS accounting application system. In the first step, the ALKIS data will be imported into the Postgre database by help of the Norbit software, which is the open source software. These data can be original or captured data. In this step, the data widget type will be defined for different usages. Here for layer, which are parcels, building, point, polygon, and line, the necessary columns and widget type with the help of the Python programming in automatic way will be defined. For instance, in the building layer, definition of the building usage and building energy simulation condition must be defined in the value map widget type. And the photos columns must be defined as an attachment widget type, which will be synchronized from the QField plugin later on. In the screenshot, you can see some part of the Python code in the QGIS. In the second step of the workflow will be the loading of the generic representation from the database schema setup in the first setup using the SQL scripts which runs in the Postgres. To guarantee access for application and display of the maps and representation properties of the spatial object, a generic representation with the simple set of the tables were created. This architecture provides this possibility to represent all kind of the geometries of the spatial data as we consider point, polygon, and line. In the last step of the workflow in accessing is accessing of the generic representation from the QGIS, the web interface, and the FMS accounting application. For the web visualization, we are taking advantage of the LizMap web client and QGIS server, which help us to create a WebGIS solution according to our QGIS desktop map. In this screenshot, you can see the LizMap web client frameworks, which we have many possibilities like a printing tools, editing tools, and switch on of layers and styling and more. As a conclusion, a common generic data structure that collects data from the disjoint data sources serves as an important prerequisite for integration of different application systems. This structure allows providing updating maps via web interfaces. In addition, developing of this application with open source software help us for data aggregation and data retrieving, automatic map generation, and visualization. One of our next steps will be the connection of this application, which right now in 2 dimensions with the 3D city model for better visualization and documentation of the renovation progress. Thank you very much for your attention, and we are ready for any question and suggestion for better understanding of this application and for further development in future. If you have any question regarding to the GIS development, you can contact me. You can see my email address, and if you have any question regarding to the database architecture definition, you can contact Dr. Mertz. And if you have any question regarding to the concept of this development, you can contact Dr. Heike Warpart. Thank you very much again for your attention.